You feel hungry right after eating a full meal. Why? You just finished dinner, your stomach is stretched tight, but 20 minutes later, you're back in the kitchen hunting for a snack. This isn't because you're greedy. It's not because you have no self-control. It's a biological error happening inside your blood. Most people think hunger means their stomach is empty. That is false. Real hunger is a need for fuel. What you're feeling is a trick played by a confused brain. You are physically full, but your cells are screaming that they're starving. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why your body is lying to you, why your healthy breakfast is actually making you hungrier, and how to finally turn off that switch so you can feel satisfied. You aren't hungry. You are being hijacked. The first reason this happens is the blood sugar roller coaster. When you eat foods like white bread, pasta, or sugary snacks, your blood sugar shoots straight up. Your body panics. It thinks this high sugar level is dangerous, so it floods your blood with insulin. Insulin's job is to take that sugar and shove it into your cells for storage. But here's the trap. The insulin works too well. It clears the sugar so fast that your levels don't just go back to normal, they crash. Your brain sees this crash and thinks you're out of energy. It doesn't care that you just ate a huge plate of food. It only sees the drop. So, it creates a powerful craving for quick energy. Sugar. You eat the sugar, you spike again, you crash again. You are trapped in a loop of eating to fix a problem caused by the last thing you ate. Most people think eating gives them energy. For most people, eating is actually what steals their energy. You have to stop the spike. No spike means no crash. No crash means no false hunger. But sugar is just the start. The bigger problem is happening in your fat cells. This is the broken fuel gauge, also known as leptin resistance. Leptin is a hormone that acts like a fuel gauge. When your fat cells are full, they send leptin to the brain to say, "We have enough energy. Stop eating." In a healthy body, this makes you put down the fork naturally. But if you're carrying extra weight, you have a lot of leptin. You should have zero appetite. So why are you the hungriest person in the room? Because the line is cut. When you eat too much processed food, your brain puts up a wall. It stops hearing the signal. Your body is shouting, "I'm full," but your brain hears nothing. Think of it like a smoke alarm that has been ringing for so long that you didn't even notice the noise anymore. Your brain looks at your blood, doesn't see the signal it recognizes, and assumes you are starving to death. It slows down your metabolism and ramps up your hunger to force you to hunt for food. You're fighting a survival instinct that thinks you're in a famine, even while you're staring at a full fridge. The third reason you feel empty is nutrient starvation. We confuse being stuffed with being nourished. You can fill your stomach with processed food until it hurts. This triggers sensors that tell the brain, "Okay, the stomach is stretched." But your body has other sensors that look for actual nutrition, vitamins, minerals, and protein. If you eat a meal that is huge, but has no real vitamins, like a fast food burger, the stretch sensors say full, but the nutrient sensors say empty. Your body realizes it didn't get the calcium or protein it needs to repair itself. So, it keeps the hunger switch on. It forces you to keep eating until you get those nutrients. You can eat 3,000 calories of junk and be starving on a cellular level. Or, you could eat a small steak and be satisfied for hours. Here's a tension that challenges everything you've been told. You aren't addicted to food. You're addicted to the brain chemicals the food releases. When you eat junk food, your brain lights up. It releases dopamine, the pleasure chemical. Natural foods like broccoli or chicken don't give you that same drug-like hit. If you think you're hungry, try the apple test. Ask yourself, would I eat a raw apple right now? If the answer is no, you aren't hungry. You are bored, stressed, or looking for a dopamine hit. This leads to the stress trap. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. This is the fight or flight hormone. When cortisol is high, your body thinks you're in danger. It thinks you need to run away from a tiger. To do that, it demands quick, easy energy. That's why you crave carbs when you're stressed. Your body shuts down digestion because it doesn't want to waste energy breaking down food when it thinks it needs to run. So you eat, but you don't absorb the food properly, which makes you feel hungry again an hour later. Also, you're probably just thirsty. The brain signal for "I need water" and I need food feels almost the same. You feel a vague need for something, and you grab a snack. The salty snack makes you more dehydrated, which makes the signal stronger. So how do we fix this broken system? You need to do 3 things to reset your hormones. First, eat protein. Protein is the king of satisfaction. It triggers hormones that physically slow down your stomach digestion and tell your brain you're done. If you start your meal with bread, you will overeat. If you start with meat or eggs, you will naturally stop. Second, slow down. It takes about 20 minutes for your stomach to text your brain say I'm full. If you inhale your dinner in 5 minutes, you have a 15-minute gap where you're technically full, but your brain doesn't know it yet. In that gap, you eat dessert. Slow down and let the signal catch up. Third, stop grazing. Eating constantly keeps your insulin high all day. By spacing your meals out and not snacking, you let your insulin drop. When insulin drops, your brain can finally hear the I'm full signal again. You do not feel hungry because you need food. You feel hungry because your signals are crossed. By switching to real, nutrient-dense foods and spacing out your meals, you don't just lose weight. You stop fighting against your own biology. If you want to master your metabolism and finally take control of your health, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next guide.